What's up, guys? Adele here with Traders Brawl in collaboration with Web3 TV, coming at you live at the Web3 TV studio. Happy New Year 2024. Welcome back. This episode is all about founders and Web3 and blockchain coming together, educating the public. So I have a special guest with me, Nissrine Elqobai.
Thank you.
Who I have met. We have met since last year, and we met in a corporate setting, World Corporate Summit. We actually had a great connection talking about logistics and supply chain, which actually is a great application of blockchain technology. And that's what led me to inviting you here. So welcome, Nissrine.
Thank you for having me. So happy to be here. So happy to see you because you're hard to catch. So I'm so happy.
And also, thank you for the chocolates.
Nothing.
So kind of you.
Just love.
But I want to say, you're the first guest who's a woman who also brought me some chocolates.
Oh.
So
you deserve more.
And I think that there needs to be a conversation around bringing more women into, founders who are women into the space. So I'm really delighted to have you.
I'm so happy. It's my honor. And again, just seeing you, it's a light, and January is starting very well then.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Tell us a little bit about how since you're in the logistics industry yourself, tell us how you got into it, and also why Dubai? Why here?
Yeah. So how I got into logistics. So when I was in high school, university, I didn't know what I will choose, but I knew I wanted to travel. Since a long time, I love traveling. I don't know how. And I was born in a small, tiny village north of France. So maybe that's the reason, I don't know. Okay. So, and then my teachers, they coached me or mentored me and helped me and told me, listen, you can do tourism or you can do something called international trade. I said, international trade, I prefer. So I studied bachelor degree international trade, and this is where I got to know logistics, import, export, methods of payment, international trade, etc. Then I loved it. Then I said, is there more than the bachelor degree? Because it was so new in France, it was in '94. And they said, yeah, there's a master degree in international trade. Then I said, okay, how can I reach there? And there was only 5 in France, so very, very selective, but thank God I got accepted in 3 out of 5. So I went to study in Paris. I studied my master degree in international trade, and first time in my life I hear the word supply chain. What is that? And then I got, that's it, addicted. I loved it. I had great teachers, politicians, entrepreneurs, etc. And I really loved it. And then I continued. I did my PhD in supply chain and information system. And I said, what is this? It was so boom, amazing, to manage the flows and how to bring the best product at the best moment, at the best time, at the most optimized cost. There's so much work, it's endless. So, and then I said, how can I learn fast? And traveling. So I finished my studies at 23. I was really a nerd. I always, never stopped studying. And 23, I started as a consultant. And I told them, just throw me anywhere on the planet you want. So they sent me everywhere. And usually people, they don't want to move. But me, I was like Hong Kong on Monday, Wednesday in London. And then, so I loved it. I had the energy that time and the stamina. So it's good.
You still do.
And I learned a lot. I learned the impact of the culture on business, the culture on supply chain. I learned that every country has different maturity in supply chain. And one day I was in Slovakia and doing a project for the automotive industry. And I received a call from a headhunter here in Dubai. And it was super cold and very snowy. And then he said, yeah, we want to recruit you for one of our customers in Dubai. I said, where? In Dubai. And then I saw sunshine and palm trees. I said, nah, it's not true. Click. And then they called back. I said, how? Like, why? How come? Why me? Why? Yeah. And I never sent any CV, nothing. And bottom line, I passed in the interviews. I was not believing it, really. I didn't know it was true. And then they sent me the contract and I said, oh, okay, so it's true.
It's true.
Mom, Dad, I think I'm going to work in UAE. and then I said, please just let me finish the project. I was building a plant from ground up. And I finished, I recruited people, did everything. 1st September 2006, I was here. I was like, okay, 1 year, let's see. 18 years later, I'm here.
Wow.
And I love this country. God bless this country. We are all blessed, honestly, to be here. I was talking to one of my friends this morning. I told him, we are in the right, perfect place on earth now. We are blessed to have leaders who appreciate us, who gives us opportunities. We can create. I mean, the whole country is a startup. So it's so beautiful, really. And yes, it goes super fast and you have to, to be on the train and, run. But it's so beautiful and I love it. I just love being here. It's safe, which, not many countries can say that. Everyone feels safe, whether you are from different religion, different color, women, men, everyone. And I love that we are all a community in UAE, and I love this country.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, and it's great that what you said about Dubai being like a community of, it's a startup country in a way. I feel I wouldn't have started my venture, my Traders Brawl educational podcast here in Dubai if it weren't for the breeding ground that it is. Now, for the audience who are new and who may not be very familiar with logistics and supply chain, how would you go about defining it for them?
Oh.
I'm sure you get this all the time.
But you know what? I love it. So I can explain it in 2 days, like 20. We have enough time, or in 2 minutes. So let me do the short version.
Sure.
But basically, is how to manage. It's about sellable product. So any product that we buy is how did you get this product in between your hands? How did you get it? So all the warehousing, transportation, communication systems that help that product to bring it in between your hand at the store. And how much does it cost? It should be the most optimized cost. And it should be the right product. If I'm buying a blue glass, I want to buy a blue glass, not a pink because you don't have the blue. So I must have the right product at the right moment, at the right cost, and for the company, because you're the one selling it, the right margin. So how to combine all this for you still make money and for the customer to be happy. That's basically it. Yes.
and would you say Amazon is a good example that manages its supply chains quite well? Like as soon as you make the order, it comes in.
Absolutely. Amazon has, it started very a normal platform selling books. But then one thing, and I love what Elon Musk said, he said, call me the supply chain guy. Because when the costs are tight, when margins are getting low, you're like, oh, how can I grab more margin? Where am I losing money, And Amazon understood very fast that they are not really running a company that sells product. They are running a logistics company. How to bring the company, the item at the right moment. You want it in 1 hour. You have Amazon Prime, this and that. This is logistics. It is just managing flows and managing suppliers and managing your sourcing. So that's why as when you understand that from the moment you sell a product or a service, anything else is how to bring it there. Of course, finance is important. Of course, marketing is important. But if you put the right finance, the right salespeople, the right marketing, but the product you're making zero margin because you have too much stock or too much cost of transportation, then what's the point? So usually the companies, when they start losing money, this is where they realize, oh, call me the supply chain guy. But if you are aware of it early in your business, then it's good, because then you start taking the good, I would say, the good routines from the beginning. So yeah,
okay. No.
and it will save money.
So essentially, it's from A to B. Transferring the product from A to B, from
Absolutely.
point of inception to the point of, I guess you have it in your hands.
Absolutely.
Okay, and going forward into the future, fast forwarding into it, do you see a world in which blockchain can be incorporated here? And do you see a use case?
So it is already the case. So it's beautiful. It's not yet everywhere. People are still, most of the companies are still very traditional in our region, which is beautiful because there's so much to be done, still. And so that's one, but still the how do we use blockchain in supply chain? For example, one of the use case is, especially since COVID, is how do you choose your supplier? So let's say you make coffee, and you have an option of buying from a distributor locally, that's it, zero risk or almost zero risk, or you can bring from Colombia, directly from the producer, or from Indonesia, or from Kenya, or from etc. So how do you have this safe communication with all the risk that is happening today? How do you have the safe exchange of information with your partners or suppliers? So today, blockchain is a very, very, especially when you are, Amazon is a good example, when you are in, you have a lot of suppliers or a supplier or portfolio of suppliers that renovate frequently. It helps putting them in a protocol where you secure communication, you secure data, you secure service level agreements, etc. So it helps a lot into visibility and transparency and trust, increasing trust.
Right, because you can track everything from every single point of the journey.
Absolutely, right? And that's what we call sourcing.
Sourcing.
Yeah.
Right. And then also there's another piece about how using decentralized servers means, any information you put in as a receiver, it's decentralized, which means that no person is having this database of your information and using it for manipulative purposes. So in a way, you can choose, using smart contracts on the blockchain, you can decide, after this information you have of me, it will expire and it will just disappear. You cannot screenshot it. If you can take a pic, you can try, but it will just be gone. In a way, you can actually set your name to be, it doesn't have to be your real name, but as long as you have, at the point of when you collect the item, you show your ID. If you need to, you can. But if you want your information to disappear using smart contracts, you can do that. You won't stay on any database. And that has been the movement of Bitcoin maxis and people who join the blockchain space because they want to own their data. Since GDPR, since the Cambridge Analytica incident, individuals like us are becoming more conscientious, more conscious, millennials including, and saying, hey, where's my data being processed? How is it being processed? How will you use my data? And because you can sell people's data, but that's without your consent. And if people are making money off of that, you should be entitled to some of that money.
Absolutely.
Because it's your data, it's your property. And so this is one of the ways in which using decentralized technology. By decentralized, I mean there's no one computer, it's many computers, and it gets encrypted. You can use encryption, decryption, and that's one of the use cases.
Absolutely. And one of the things that made blockchain a bit boom into the supply chain world is the platform. So where you have a seller and a buyer. So anything in the what we call marketplaces, right? So in that, you have a lot of blockchain. However, what I feel in our region, it's still shy, it's still little. And I think because even if we said a lot of, the word, we talk about it a lot, but we have still very few use cases locally. And I think from what I've seen is people, they're not scared. They're scared to engage because they don't know enough about it, or they didn't see enough cases. And I think this is a perfect place, our region, UAE, Qatar, Saudi, etc. This is a perfect place to start blockchain because we're starting from almost dust. So it's nothing is easy, of course, but it's easier to implement something from zero than transform something and put it back into blockchain.
Yes.
So there is a lot of things to be done that it's still a bit shy, but I hope with professionals like you who can talk about it more, to demystify the blockchain, this will help people to be more engaged and try. Me, what I keep telling them is just do a small POC, proof of concept, try it with 1 supplier, 10 suppliers, try, and you will see the result. Because they're really scared, and the gain they will get out of it is huge.
Right.
So that's one side. The other side is, in our beautiful region, is the relationship we have with suppliers is still very traditional. So we love contact and we love to meet, and which is good because that's the human part of us that we love here in this region. So this is very, very nice. And they feel that blockchain will remove a bit of that. So what I try to tell them is, listen, nobody will remove the relationship you have with your suppliers here. But imagine you can reach 1,000 more suppliers in the world.
Right.
So keep working, keep having the contract. I know this is someone you've been working with 50 years and your father has been working with them, etc. But have other options in case.
In case it doesn't work.
So that's how we take them to a little bit, globalize a little bit, and then use blockchain after that, hopefully. So so business culture has a huge impact on how you use technology, how you define your supply chain.
Let's take a step back.
Makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely. Let's take a step back. I want the audience to know a bit more about your company. What's the name of your company?
ENY Consulting. So ENY means, very simply, Elqobai, Nissrine. Youssef is my brother. Fun fact, in my family, we are 8 in supply chain.
Wow. Wow. It's like following the family tree. This is very common. There's family of doctors, family of dentists. Now supply chain, this is new for me, actually. I love it. Really good, really good.
So and we created, that was always my dream since '99, but we created the company in 2019, first in Morocco, and then so many things happened, and when the universe wants you to start, you have like a huge push and just go ahead. And then 2020 we opened here, and also in Saudi, in Riyadh, 2 years ago. So what we want to achieve is we want to bridge the gap of supply chain competency. So we are consultants. What we want to do is to come, inject knowledge, inject methodology, inject you tools in your company, in your team, help you for a while, and step back and let you manage, because you need to adopt it. Then we'll come back time to time. So our goal is really to bridge the gap. When I say to bridge the gap of competency, Adel, you will be amazed. In the whole region, in GCC region, we have less than 10 masters in supply chain in the whole region. 10. So we have so many schools. Imagine how many masters in finance we have in all these schools, marketing, sales, etc., MBAs, blah, blah. But supply chain, not that much. So we promised ourselves is to also promote supply chain with universities. And 3 years ago, we started to knock at the door of universities and say, can you create more bachelor degree in supply chain? And we've been touring universities because you have to go from the source, from the bottom, from the youth. And I thank all the universities that accepted us. We did conferences with them. There is Wollongong University, Heriot-Watt, Zayed University, EM Normandy, De Montfort University, SP Jane, all these people. We talk to their students and we tell them, come to supply chain. We need you. We need you. We need more brains. So come. And by the time we have a real mass of students or young people who just got their master and will work in the country, in the meantime, who you have? You bring people from abroad, right? But how much can you bring, right? So there's a limit there. And then you convert people from inside. For example, a store manager will become in procurement. Someone who was driving a truck will become a warehouse manager, etc. So you try to convert people, but you don't have the methodology. They are not proactive. They can execute, but they don't have enough knowledge to be proactive and think strategic and think ahead, etc. So in between, who you call? Ghostbuster. No, I'm joking. You call consultants.
ENY Consulting.
ENY, come on. So, and I'm always grateful to all the big brothers, KPMG, McKinsey, Bain, etc. Because they're here. Of course, they can also take a project, but they are so busy with mega projects that below a certain level, they can't go. Right?
And the clients can't afford them.
And exactly. So there's a big gap here and that's why what we want is to bridge that, and hopefully, and we have a lot of colleagues in consulting also who are working in the field, and we need to bridge that to give the country knowledge, possibilities to build supply chain without losing money or not too much, until the youth comes and brings it, and then we'll do something else.
Understood.
But always in supply chain.
Okay, so when you say bridge the competencies gap, you're in a way educating.
Yes.
And as a consultant, you advise.
Yeah.
So you charge per hour. How does it work? Or per project?
Yeah, usually it's per project. So usually we have like 3 types, but of course we can adapt. The one that is the most famous that people love is what we call the supply chain diagnosis or audit. So we come in general between 20 to 30 days. That's it. We cap it at 30 because after that the impact is not the same. So we come and basically we look at your pulse, supply chain health. We look at your pulse, your fever, all your vitals, and then we come up with a report that has 3 axes, which are very classical and traditional in consulting, which is people, process, system. So we look at your people in supply chain, your processes in supply chain, and your systems in supply chain. We diagnose all that, we x-ray all that, and we give you what is wrong, how much you're losing currently, and what you should do. So we give you this very rare, not many consulting firm will do, but we give you the roadmap. This is what you should do the next 18 months or 24 months or 6 months or whatever. And we will prioritize it. We will tell you this is red, like red, purple, act on it now, because you're really wasting a lot of money, millions or whatever in that. So we give that and we tell them, wherever you want us to help you, no problem. So we'll take 1 or 2 subjects to help them, because change is very overwhelming.
Yes.
So
scary.
It's scary. So you need to go step by step, and then at one point there is, a wave that will take you and accelerate the change. But
transition.
Yeah. So that's what we call also supply chain transformation.
Okay, very interesting. No, I'm learning so much. And who would you say are there dominant you say monopolies in the supply chain, like any companies you can name that are dominating the space, or is there no, like, for example,
in our region?
Yeah, for example, the likes of Google, they tend to be one of the monopolies when it comes to search engines.
Oh yeah, so you will, like I said, you will have the big firms. I call big brothers.
Okay,
and you
like
will
the big 4.
Yeah, the big 4.
Oh, okay.
And then you will have companies that are here from a long time, also longer than us, like Innova. And I consider them all colleagues, because we help each other even. Like RV Consultancy, he's a friend also, like SN Dojo, who is more on the training side, but we still bridge the gap. So all together we do our best, and yeah, it's few. But to be honest, comparing to France, for example, or comparing to Europe, we are not enough, you know?
Yes.
And I believe in collaboration. I don't believe in competition.
Okay.
I believe there is enough, honestly, and especially being here now 18 years, there is so much work to be done. And I'm talking supply chain, but it's true for everything else, to be honest.
Yes.
There's so much to be done that, we can collaborate, support each other, and I'd rather collaborate, you know, with you, call you, come help me on this project, than, you know, fighting and on scarcity and blah, not good, bad energy.
And turning our attention away from supply chain and work.
Oh, no, joking.
No, we're coming back to you, don't worry. We're coming back to you. Nissrine, you speak 7 languages. What are those languages you speak?
I love languages. I love people.
Okay.
Honestly, I love people. I love the human being. So I travel a lot. I traveled more than 35 countries. Wow. And every time I try to listen and hear what's the language. I'm so curious. I'm extremely curious, thanks to my mom and dad. And so I speak, of course, French, English, Arabic, German, Italian, Dutch, Spanish. Wow. So that's the one I studied in school. But then I speak a little bit of Tagalog, a little bit of Hindi, a little bit of Turkish, a little bit of Bahasa Indonesian, a little bit of Thai, a little bit of Korean, like that. So
Wow. Chinese? Any Chinese?
Little.
What can you say in Chinese?
Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma. I love it.
Xie xie ni.
That's great. No, I mentioned China because, you know, they're one of the, I think the second largest population after India, because they were first. So lots of influence on the world.
Absolutely.
But
no, definitely I have to learn now.
But still,
Mandarin, Russian, this I need to learn absolutely.
Russian as well.
Yes.
Russian as well.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm putting my son to the languages too. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
really
good. It's so beautiful because, you know, you open your mind, your brain is working differently from one culture to another. So, and you understand people and better, you know. And in this country, we are so blessed to be so mixed. Like for me, is such a pleasure to ask, where are you from? You know, I love this question, where are you from? Because I'm so curious.
Yes.
And we are so blessed to work together, different cultures, and we work together. How amazing is that?
It's great for business.
Absolutely.
And friendships.
And friendships and knowledge and learning from each other, you know, and applying, you do this in, you know, in this country or this country. Okay, let me apply it here. Let me try, So it's really good. It's really good.
Coming back to the founders subject, we were in the same community 24/6.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Love.
Lots of love.
Yeah.
I want to ask, since you've been in the industry, you said 18 years, is that right? Or in the country, 18 years?
In the country, 18 years.
How long have you been in the industry?
26.
26, amazing.
White hair, you see them?
I don't see anything.
You don't see
anything. So with 26 years under your belt, do you consider yourself a founder, or do you feel like this is just a label, or it doesn't feel like I'm a founder of something? It's just you do what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Or is it both?
You know, I was just talking this morning. I told you to a friend, and he's transitioning, and I told him before, when I was in the corporate world, and I was trying to put myself in the entrepreneurship mindset. Every time I hear you must have passion to be an entrepreneur or to build something, and I was like, oh yeah, of course. But now I know if you don't love what you do, there is no way you will stay. There is no way, because it's so hard that you must love it like it's your own baby, it's your own son or daughter. And you can't understand unless you tried it.
Right.
So I really definitely, I do what I do because I love, and I always post it on LinkedIn. I said, I do what I love and I love what I do.
Yeah.
And truly this is what I love, supply chain. And I think this is a gift, I don't know, but I'm so creative in supply chain. I do other stuff that I love. But supply chain is so weird. How it is like,
It comes to you.
I create and I
Yeah.
see, and I can just spend 6 hours in your company, and they will tell you, change that, do that, this, that, immediately.
Wow.
And I know it will work. I know it will work. And one of our customer in Saudi Arabia, I knew they will not believe me, but I have to tell them. And we did a diagnosis. So I think it was even less than 30 days. It was 23 days, something like that. And we gave the report, and we told them, within 45 days, you will save around 20 million Saudi riyal. They said, no way, 45, because 45, no way. I said, okay, give us 3 months if you prefer. No, 20 million. You are telling me that you know the business better than, I said, no, I don't know your business better than you, but I know supply chain. And when it's leaking somewhere, I see it. You don't see it, but I see it. And the team that we have, as expert as I am, if not more, because I always make sure we recruit people that are better than us.
Of course.
So guess what? Within 45, let's say the three months, crucial months that we promised, we saved 70 million.
17?
70
Wow.
Saudi riyal.
Wow.
Even me, I come like, what? Wow, good job, Nissrine, that's a new record. But, it was leaking so much, that, and it hurts. So now they know, now they can stop it. Of course, when you stop such leakage, in 1 year, we saved a full year of turnover for them. In 1 year, we saved more than 200 Saudi riyal. Insane. So it's better that you know it, you save it, you re-inject it into your marketing,
of course.
You re-inject it in your technology, you re-inject it into
Staff.
your people. Yeah, recruit more competent people who knows how to manage your company. And all these years, they didn't see it because you don't have the supply chain eye, but I can't say that for everything else, finance, marketing, etc. So so hopefully that's the effect we want to have. We want to come, show you how it works, give you the tools, and then you do it. That's what
you're
we
a
want.
Ghostbuster?
We are.
You're a real Ghostbuster.
Yeah, we are coast busters.
Awesome. We have to wrap it there, the time. But
Thank
for the
you.
audience who would like to know more about ENY Consulting, where can they find more information about you and ENY Consulting?
Okay, so you can find us. Shall I speak?
Yeah, feel free.
Hi guys. So you can find us on LinkedIn, of course, Nissrine Elqobai on LinkedIn. Please contact us. You can also contact us on ENY Consulting on LinkedIn or www.eny-consulting.com. Thank you, and hope we can support you very soon.
Absolutely. Nissrine, it's been a wonderful,
I'm so
insightful
happy.
interview.
Yeah,
I learned a lot from both as a founder and supply chain logistics. So what's next for you? 2024 has just happened.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to in this year?
So, supply chain is how to manage flow and data, how to manage physical flow and data. So we started to create few tools because we thought, how can we help our customers better? How can we, when we leave, how can we still help them? Like still we are there with them. So we built two tools specifically. One is ENY Analytics, and one is called iWise, which is the supply chain command center. It's very impressive, big screens. It's like you're in an airport control tower. And we hope to push that and to help more companies to save costs, increase their margin, and have competent people in supply chain. Okay. It's not easy to get, but believe it. They're there.
Okay, great. No, these are some things that you have some goals already. You've listed, so it looks like I will be following your page very closely.
Yes,
and
please.
Supporting you.
And I'll see you again.
Absolutely.
And we have events coming also, end of the month, etc. So please
24/6/9.
Yes, and of course, that's the weekly shot of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And when I go to 24/6/9 to the community on Friday evening, I feel like I'm a toddler because I'm learning so much from the colleagues and Jamil and the whole team of Ahoy and the whole people who are coming, Alexei and etc. It's so humbling and it feels so great to be among this community. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Me too. So thank you so much, Nissrine, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. Please follow Nissrine on the socials she just mentioned, which we'll also include in the description. Keep following us. We're here to educate. We're here to give a voice to founders who are experts in their field. So thank you so much for watching and staying with us. And this is Adele with Nissrine. Thank you so much once again, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.